Hello and welcome to the 72's YouTube channel, where today we're going to be reviewing all the action that went down on transfer deadline day yesterday. As ever, I'm joined by our social media manager, Adam Reek. How are we doing?
Yeah, good. Yourself?
Yeah, not too bad. Just recovering from deadline day. I mean, crazy day, wasn't it? Up and down the country, Premier League, Championship, League One, League Two. It was a crazy day. I think it was nearly £300 million spent in the Premier League alone. So,
Was a
crazy day.
late one as well, a very late one.
Yeah, a lot of late transfers going through last night. I'll just reel off a few standout transfers in the Championship to get us started. Luke Plange left Derby County for Crystal Palace, but he's joined Derby County back on loan. Dennis O'Doyle and Sylvester Jasper secured their exits from Fulham. George Puskas has left Reading on loan. Lise Mousset left Sheffield United to join Salernitana on loan, whilst Charlie Good has arrived from Brentford on loan. Nico Williams has joined Fulham on loan. Ryan Giles joins Blackburn on loan. Jeff Hendrick joins QPR on loan. Tom Ince, Stoke to Reading. Liam Moore goes the other way. Hull signed for Marcus Force on loan from Brentford. That's just to name a few. Any standouts there for you?
That Tom Ince one's quite interesting. Who did you say went the other way?
Liam Moore's gone from Reading to Stoke.
Yes,
I believe they're both loan deals. But yeah, Tom Ince, Stoke to Reading. Can he do anything with Reading this season?
If he keeps them up, then that's his job done. I think Liam Moore's been wanting to leave Reading for a while, though. I mean, if you ask any Reading fan, they all say he thinks he's a Premier League footballer, which I'm sure he was. He had a medical scheduled with Wickham last night as well, and then something must have unfolded, and he ended up going to Stoke. But I think it's a good move for all parties, because Liam Moore was not happy at Reading. Reading aren't happy with Liam Moore. Tom Ince, he's been needing to kick on his career for about 10 years, hasn't he? So
yeah, I mean, he's in my opinion, I think he's a bang average player, Tom Ince, and I think Reading are a bang average team. They go hand in hand, that transfer, to be honest. And if Tom Ince keeps Reading in the Championship, I'll eat my words, but I just can't see Reading pulling up any stumps. Is that the saying? In the second half?
They'd only be staying up because of Derby's points deduction and the fact that Peterborough and Barnsley are terrible.
And that's if Barnsley, Derby don't stay up. I mean, they lost a lot of players over the window. Graham Shinney, Luke Plange has obviously come back on loan, but I still think there's a chance they beat the drop at the expense of maybe Reading or Cardiff. See how that one pans out. But some more transfers from the Championship yesterday. Nat Phillips joins Bournemouth on loan from Liverpool. Freddie Woodman joins Bournemouth on loan from Newcastle. Now, Bournemouth, they're probably the big talking point from the EFL yesterday, aren't they? 5 players signed on deadline day alone. Todd Cantwell, Kiefer Moore, Sirike Dembele, Nat Phillips and Freddie Woodman all join. Earlier in the month, Ethan Laird joins on loan from Manchester United. Now, looking at this, I think Bournemouth are trying to throw everything at promotion. They've tailed off in recent weeks, haven't they? But I think the problem was the same when Parker was at Fulham. It was always papering over cracked. If you look at these signings, the majority of them are loan signings. So even if they do get Bournemouth into the Premier League, Bournemouth will then be in a Premier League, but with a Championship squad. That was failing the last few weeks. But, I mean, what do you think about that? Do you think Bournemouth have earned promotion with their signings yesterday?
Well, I was looking at them and who they paid money for. Kiefer Moore, Sirike Dembele.
Is there another one? Well, Phillips and Woodman join on loan.
Right, so they've got 3 players on loan, or 4 players on loan, and they've bought 2 players. Now, it's all right saying they've spent money, but if you get offered Kiefer Moore for $3.5 million, you're taking him every day of the week, because you can sell him in the summer for about 7 or 8 at least. At least if Burnley stay up, he'll be at Burnley for £10 million easy. And then Sirike Dembele, how much you reckon they got him for? Maybe he's.
I wouldn't have thought a lot. I think Peterborough and Dembele maybe wanted rid of each other, but yeah, I don't think it would have been a lot.
And you've got a talented winger there. The second you put on a Bournemouth shirt and get promoted, your value's tripled. Now, I think it makes sense, and I think Ethan Laird's a quality player. He was unbelievable at Russell Martin, Swansea. Woodman's fantastic goalkeeper, probably one of the best penalty stoppers in the country. But then he's not going to start ahead of Travis, because Travis has been fantastic this season. Nat Phillips, he was part of the Liverpool squad that got the Champions League in the end. They've had an unbelievable window, unbelievable. And I think that they had to do it because, like you say, 2 years running now, Scott Parker's been handed arguably the best squad in the league. Done it at Fulham, went up through the playoffs, had it this season, and where's he now? Third, fourth?
Fulham first, Blackburn second, Bournemouth and third.
Bournemouth third. Now, that squad should be much higher. Now, again, if you're not going to get rid of Scott Parker, then you're going to have to bring in better players. But then he's had better players, and he's still not at an R. I think you could give him anyone Scott Parker, and he'd somehow find a way to mess up. That's just my thoughts. But overall, they've had a mint window. And Liam Henshaw, Nottingham Forest's, he's a Nottingham Forest fan on Twitter. Like data analyst, he put a tweet on saying, "Is there any EFL accounts that are announcing all the signings so I can keep up with it?" I just replied, Bournemouth, because it was literally it was signing everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a window.
It was a crazy kind of day from Bournemouth. I don't know whether they got to deadline day and they were panicking a bit. That's why they just brought anyone and everyone they could. Freddie Woodman, I think, is a really weird transfer because obviously
he's not going to play.
He's not going to play. So why have Bournemouth brought in a keeper who kept over 20 clean sheets last season, won the Golden Glove? Why have they brought him in, sit him on the bench, and why have Newcastle allowed it?
It's not going to do any harm, is it? They literally are just strengthening it. It's not as if they've overpaid and panicked buy on crap for silly money. They've made their squad unbelievable.
It is well rounded, and if there's one,
is it better than funds now?
Nah. I think the difference with Fulham this season is they've got so much depth in their squad. What was it? Alexander Mitrovic missed a few games last month, and they obviously scored a few less goals, but they were still winning games. They're still putting points on the board.
Reed comes in. They've got Cavallo.
Yeah, I think that's the difference with Fulham. And on the topic of Fulham, they brought in Nico Williams, which I only saw this morning, and that comes after Dennis O'Doy leaves the club after 5.5 years to join Club Brugge in Belgium. Now, Nico Williams, right back, I think he could play right wing back as well. 20 years old. He's only got 13 Premier League appearances for Liverpool. He's actually got more caps for Wales than he has Premier League appearances for Liverpool. I think that's a quality signing from Fulham. I think that's great business from Liverpool as well, because Jurgen Klopp will want his players going out on loan to go to a team that play aggressive football, that win football games. Fulham are doing that. I'm not comparing Fulham and Liverpool, but if Liverpool want a player to go to an EFL club or a Championship club to better prepare them to come into Liverpool's first team in future years, it's Fulham, isn't it?
Yeah. It's good. Like I say, there's so many Liverpool, Man United, Chelsea, Man City players that get put down into the lower leagues, and you just think, they're going to be unbelievable because they're from Liverpool, Manchester City, blah, blah, blah. But if he's, like you say, if he's going to the top of the table Championship club, which is where those players should be going, because if you're not good enough for a top 4 team, you're not good enough for a Premier League team, you've got to be good enough for a top-end Championship team, or else you're no good at that club at all. So it will be a good test, and it will certainly benefit, like you say, Jurgen Klopp, benefit the player, benefit Fulham if it pays off, and benefit Liverpool. I think, it's a good signing.
Definitely. I think, where were we? Another big signing at the top of the Championship table. Ryan Giles joins Blackburn on loan from Wolves, started the season at Cardiff City. 9 assists. I believe he was playing in a left wing back position for Cardiff City. What do you make of that signing?
Yeah, left wing back, not a centre mid.
Mm-hmm.
It was a good signing, but I just don't know how it can fit in, because Blackburn don't play 3 at the back or 5 at the back. They play 4-2-3-1, and if they've got Harry Pickering there, he's not going to really start ahead of Pickering, is he? And he's also not going to start left wing. So I don't know. Was that on loan or permanent?
It's on loan, yeah, on loan.
So I suppose it's all right for Blackburn because they're not going to say no to a player like that. But I'm not sure what Wolves or the player get out of it.
I mean, from Blackburn's perspective, you wouldn't turn it down if the offer was
No,
there.
you wouldn't. But why would you say yes to that?
It's similar to Newcastle letting Woodman join Bournemouth on loan. Now, I don't know if these clubs have a kind of deals in place. I know Liverpool usually do this in there when they loan players out, but a player has to play at X amount of minutes or games or however many
Markovic
starts.
had that at Cardiff, didn't he? Liverpool give Cardiff Markovic, I think Warnock was the manager at the time. I'm sure they said when he's fit, he's got to play.
So I think they did the same with Rhys Williams at Swansea, and he played 5 games. And well, that's the thing. Swansea could have got fined because I think Liverpool did have like a contracted agreement, whereas he had to play an X amount of games. But a decent signing there. Some else in the Championship. This was one I saw this morning as well. Completely passed me by yesterday. I think it happened after 9 o'clock. Karel Aitin rejoins Huddersfield Town on a free transfer. He was on loan with them last season from Ajax. He did really well. Became a bit of kind of a cult hero among Huddersfield fans, especially at the start of last season. Moved to Genk in the summer. Didn't work out for him. He's back at Huddersfield now. It looks like Huddersfield are trying to give it a go. They brought in Jamal Blackman on a free to back up their number one keeper. I'm not sure who that is. But Huddersfield, they're just not quieting down, are they? Like they had that crazy start
from Chelsea as well.
Sorry,
they got that lad from Chelsea, Andrew as well. Attack midfielder.
They probably did. Let me have a look. Like I said, so many transfers yesterday. It was impossible to keep track of all of them. Tino Andrew joining on loan from Chelsea. Yeah.
Well, they must have a mint relationship with Chelsea now because, like you say, Andrew, Levi Caldwell, they've obviously got faith from Chelsea because you see how good Caldwell's been this season. He's been top 3 centre-backs this year. Well, he was in my team this season so far. So, if Chelsea can see that Huddersfield's progressing him as a defender, why not go and give them one of the best attacking youngsters in Andrew? Because at the end of the day, it's game time. It's about fitting into the system. Huddersfield play good football. So, like I say, that's another sign that works out.
Yeah. It's like I said about Nico Williams at Fulham. The parent club wanting their player to go to a club that will play a certain way. Now, Tino Andrew going to Huddersfield, where Carlos Corberán, he's got his kind of own version of Bielsa ball, and he plays a decent brand of football. And I think Chelsea will get a good deal out of that. And Huddersfield Town also wanted to bring in Harvey Vale from Chelsea as well. But Thomas Tuchel has plans for him in the first team, so he remains at Chelsea. Elsewhere in the Championship, what I think is going to be one of the most underrated signings of the window, Jeff Hendrick on loan to QPR. He was wanted by Middlesbrough. He joins QPR on loan until the end of the season. Former Derby County, Burnley midfielder, Republic of Ireland midfielder. He's got plenty of experience, but he fell out of favour at Newcastle this season. And QPR have already got some good options in the centre of midfield. But I think Jeff Hendrick, he's kind of like Stefan Johansson. He's got the long hair. He's got the passing range. You can play long balls. You can play short. You can play forward, backwards. You can do everything, and he can score goals as well.
Strike on him as well.
Yeah, he's got a left peg on him, hasn't he? So I think Jeff Hendrick to QPR is a good deal. In QPR, they obviously brought in Dion Sanderson early that month, and I don't know why people aren't still talking about that because that is one of the maddest signings of the window. And the thing is, Dion Sanderson probably won't even get in the starting lineup every week. He'll probably just be rotated because QPR have already got a pretty impressive backline. But how do you think QPR will do now? Do you think they'll secure a top 6 spot with Sanderson and Hendrick coming in online?
Well, this was their chance, wasn't it? And I think they've probably pulled through in the January window. I think they'll get top 6. Their home form's too impressive, and like you say, Dion Sanderson, he's so good. Like he's everything you want in a modern defender. The size of him, he's athletic. He's strong. He is a strong lad, even though he's not like the biggest built. He's a strong lad, and like he can play centre back, he can play right back. When we had him at Sunderland, I always felt like as good as he was in defence, there was definitely an option for him there to be a defensive midfielder because his ability to receive the ball under pressure, wiggle his way out, and progressively run up the pitch was something that you need nowadays in modern midfielders. But like you say, if he he might get a few games in centre mid if you can't get in centre back, because QPR's got one of the best back three in the league this season. Like you say, Jeff Hendrick, another good signing. They've just got quality throughout the pitch, and I think they will get top six definitely this season.
Yeah. I think the race for automatic promotion, you've got so many strong teams in the Championship. After January, Bournemouth, QPR, Fulham, Blackburn will be up there. And you've got to pick 2 to go up automatically and then 1 through the playoffs now. I mean, it's such an open race at this point. But let's talk a bit about League One. A busy day in League One. A lot of players moving from one league club to another. Scott Fraser, Ipswich to Charlton for an undisclosed fee. Jay Matete, Fleetwood, Sunderland, undisclosed fee. Tom Flanagan leaves Sunderland to join Shrewsbury. Raheem Harper leaves Ipswich to join Crewe Alexandra. On loan, AFC Wimbledon bringing Sam Cosgrove on loan from Birmingham. Gillingham, who appointed Neil Harris as manager yesterday, bringing Ben Thompson from Millwall on a free, and Rotherham at the top of the table. They brought in Jordi Osei-Tutu from Arsenal on loan now. Let's talk about Sunderland if you want, because of all the League One transfers I've got typed out here, Sunderland popping up most. And I wanted to ask you about Tom Flanagan, because I did a piece on Tom Flanagan this morning. I'm obviously not a Sunderland fan. I've not seen Tom Flanagan play ever, I don't think. But last season he was getting pelted online. This season, now he's left, everyone was like, what's going on? He was one of the best players this season.
The only reason people would possibly want Tom Flanagan at the club is because we don't have many centre-backs left. We've only got Bailey Wright, Callum Doyle, Danny Bath, Arby, this Kosovian centre-back that I don't think has played a game for us because he joined about 3 years ago. He keeps coming back and then getting injured. The only reason people would want Tom Flanagan is for cover. We've had him for 4 seasons and we're still in League One. He's not a good defender. He's always got a horrendous mistake in him. But then you'll say that and you'll go to the game on Saturday, we'll keep clean sheets, and you'll go to your mate, you'll go, he's all right, Tom Flanagan. He's awful. It's the exact same with Lyndon Gooch. We need to stop letting players get away with one good performance in 5 and mutating what we think about them, because it's not the case. It's not the case at all. Tom Flanagan is awful. He's so tall, he's so skinny, and he's not a League One defender. Wait, he's not a League One defender for a team that's gone up. I'm happy he's gone. I need to stop thinking that he's okay, because it's this okay that's kept us in the league for 4 seasons.
Yeah, I mean, looking from the outside in, you've had some players like Tom Flanagan and Lyndon Gooch who have been there the entire time you've been in League One, if I'm not mistaken. You've got to move that kind of player on.
Yeah,
that kind of player, like you said, who kind of accepts that he's at that level and puts in a certain level of performances that you just know is not going to take you up into the Championship. Another player who left Sunderland, he's joined Portsmouth on a free. Follows Denver Hume to Fratton Park, actually, Aidan O'Brien.
Honestly, I don't know who Portsmouth's head of recruitment is, but he needs sacking. Aidan O'Brien. We got him from the Championship. I was thinking, Championship player, that's all right. He's so bad. He is so bad. But the one thing I'll give him credit for is he always makes the right decision. Like, up here, he's good. Like, he knows what he's meant to do. Down here, he can't do what up here tells him to do. He's just, I'm happy. I'm very, very happy he's gone. And that, like you said, the Deadwood, Flanagan's gone, O'Brien's gone. Hume's a funny one because Denver Hume, I know fine well, right? In a 3-4-3 at a particular club, he will absolutely fly because he's just got that knack of being able to run the whole line, good stamina, good at dribbling, but he's the worst cross of the ball we've ever had at the stadium, right? And he can't really defend. So again, I'm happy he's gone, but also I know fine well he'll come back and succeed somewhere.
Yeah, it'll probably come back to bite you, won't it?
Yeah.
So at some point in the playoffs, maybe. But Portsmouth, bringing in 2 players from Sunderland. Scott Fraser, I believe this is a player you like. I think you've tweeted about him yesterday.
Yeah,
Joined Ipswich in the summer
criminal.
from MK Dons, was it not? Moves to Charlton for an undisclosed fee. Strange move, or?
No, not really, because I was expecting it. Because 2 years ago he was at Burton, got the most assists in the league. He went to MK Dons, was one of the best midfielders in the league. Got the move to Ipswich after they were just signing everyone they thought was good. Got the move to Ipswich, and he's one of the best players in the league at receiving deep. Like I see it with Dion Sanderson, wiggling his way out, running and passing forward. He's like not necessarily box to box. I mean, I said on Twitter box to box, but that's just because people knew what I would mean. In terms of the data side of the world, he's just one of the best at progressive runners and progressive passes and expected threat, taking the ball from an undangerous area and turn it into something. He's one of the best in League One for that, and he should have got a move to the Championship 2 years ago when he was at Burton. He should have got a move to the Championship 1 year ago when he was at MK Dons, and he should have got a move to the Championship now. But Ipswich have just ruined him. Like I say, they've bought one of the best midfielders in the league, and they were playing him on the left wing, and then they wonder, hold on, why is he not performing? Because you're playing him on the left wing. Put him in the middle. There's a reason you're mid-table. Get one of the best midfielders in the league and put him in the middle. And then he's gone to Charlton, and good luck to him. I hope he succeeds because he deserves a move to the Championship, 100%. And he'll get one. If he has a good 4 or 5 months, he'll get a move to the Championship. And Charlton are very lucky because they've got a good midfield now. Like I say, Scott Fraser playing alongside George Dobson, who, believe it or not, Sunderland fans, is actually having a blinder of a season somehow. So that's a cracking midfield too. And like I say, it'll be a good move for him. It'll be a good move for him, definitely. And it'll be a good move for Charlton. Not a good move for Ipswich, but they won't realise it's not a good move for them because they never treat him with the respect he deserved.
No.
Just as Scott Fraser.
He was one of nearly 20 players who arrived in the summer. I think half of those nearly half of those were centre mid. So you can understand Ipswich wanting to fit him in the starting 11 somehow because he obviously showed last season that he's a cracking player. And I think he might be one of those players who can only perform to his best playing a certain way, like MK Dons under Martin last season. Now, he'll go to Charlton struggling in League One. They've done all right under Johnny Jackson when he was in caretaker charge. They've slowed down a bit now, but maybe Scott Fraser is that kind of, that, like you say, that link between defence and attack that they need to just get some consistency on the ground. League One, League Two, not much happened in League Two yesterday, but perhaps the most bizarre deadline day transfer I can think of. Matty Longstaff to Mansfield Town on loan from Newcastle United, wanted by a load of Championship clubs over the past 18 months. You said AC Milan were even looking at him at one point last year. How have Mansfield pulled this off? Any idea? Because it's such a kind of football manager signing, isn't it?
Maybe it's just because Matty Longstaff's not as good as Newcastle make out. It could be as simple as that. It's all right. Championship clubs might have been interested in him, but why did they not get him?
Well, the risk for Matty Longstaff now is, say he went on loan to a Championship club last season and he didn't do that well. No problem, he'll be getting another chance. If he goes on loan, if he doesn't perform on loan for Mansfield now and he returns to Newcastle, they're going to be thinking we've got this player now, we can't even cut it in League Two. Let's get rid of him. We're not even going to bother loaning him out again because you can't cut it in League Two. So it's definitely a risk, but fair play to him. I hope it works out for him because so many players will be happy just joining the first team that comes up or a team closer to home. Fair play to Matty Longstaff. I think that's it's a brave move. I hope it pulls off. I hope it pays off for him. But I'm going to put you on.
Just what a sign! I think they're, for me, my favourite team in League Two at the moment, and I think they'll get automatic promotion after that.